Hello. In this video, we'll learn about Form W-2 and Form W-3 and what payroll accountants must do at year end to complete these forms. Critical form is the Form W-2, which the employer must deliver to all employees who were employed during the previous year by January 31st. The Form W-2 reports all of the employees' pay, and understanding the correlation between the W-2 and the employee's final payroll for the year is important. The year-to-date pay, as reflected on the pay advice, may differ from the W-2 because of the timing of the final pay for the year. It's also important to note that the taxable income and the Social Security wages on the W-2 will not be the same number when the employee has pre-tax deductions. All tips reported to the employer will be reflected on the W-2, as will any retirement plan contributions, union dues, and tuition benefits. Part of the Affordable Care Act of 2010 required employers to list the healthcare benefit on the W-2 in Box 12. There are several copies of the Form W-2, and each copy goes to a different recipient. Copy A is for the Social Security Administration. Copy 1 and 2 are for the state, city or local tax department. Copy B is for the employee's federal tax return, and copy C is for the employee's record, and copy D is for the employer. Here's an example of a completed Form W-2. This W-2 is for Vesper Christofferson, who worked for Sunnyside Senior Community Center in 2022. Let's go through the information together. Box A contains the employee's Social Security number, and Box B contains the employer's identification number. The employer name and address is shown in Box C, and the employee's name and address is shown in Box E. Box 1 contains the wages, tips, and other compensation, and Vesper earned $38,523.34 during 2022, but contributed $2,000 to his retirement plan, and that is why this box shows $36,523.34 as the taxable wages. Box 2 contains the federal income tax withheld. Vesper had $3,671.04 withheld based on his W-4 information. Box 3 and 5 contain the Social Security and Medicare wages. And note that these two boxes contain a higher amount than Box 1. Vesper had a retirement plan into which he contributed $2,000 during 2022, which were not deductible in calculating the FICA wages. Box 4 and 6 contain the Social Security tax withheld of $2,388.45 and the Medicare tax withheld of $588.89. Boxes 16 and 17 contain the state tax information. Vesper had $1,369.63 withheld for state taxes based on the state withholding certificates that he filed in January of 2022. Form W-3 is the transmittal form that accompanies the submission of Copy A to the Social Security Administration. It contains the aggregate data for all Form W-2s issued by an employer. Form W-3 and all accompanying W-2s must be mailed or electronically submitted by January 31st of the following year. The total annual wages reported on the W-3 must match the annual wages reported on Forms 941 and 940. So here's an example. In Box B, the company checks what kind of payer it is. In this case, the company files Form 941. Companies also check a box for type of employer or none apply. In box C, we enter the number of forms W-2 that are attached and fill in the employer ID number in box E and the employer's name and address in boxes F and G. We need to add up all of the wages, taxes, and deferred compensation and fill them in boxes 1 through 19. In the last two rows of the form, the company fills in the employer's contact information, as well as the phone number, fax number, and email address. The form must be signed and dated by an authorized individual and then submitted to the Social Security Administration.